So where that information appears and why it's important is if you come over to here, let's say, and we go back to our um, trading systems, that is our title tag and that is our meta description. So that's why
Uh-huh.
it's really important to make sure that your title tags are written in a with copywriting in mind. I think it's important when doing SEO. You always put usability first because I think that ultimately, when the spider comes to your website, it's not going to pull out its wallet and purchase your product.
Mm,
It's the
mm.
end user. So always optimize with a view for optimizing for usability first, then SEO, what I'm talking about, second. But you can see here, you want to make sure you have some good copywriting skills and you put your keyword in that title tag and then you also have it in the description. And because Google's going to bold those, so that obviously draws
Awesome.
the eye to it.
Does it
Okay.
does it make a difference where exactly you put that keyword in your title tag, for example? Is it better at the beginning or does it not matter too much?
Um, People say that it's better to weight it towards the front. Like we swap it around a little bit. I again would err towards go for usability. As long as
Okay.
it's in there and then go for usability first and then the other stuff, it's kind of, you're down to a point where you're splitting hairs where if let's say you went after a keyword and you couldn't rank for the keyword that you wanted to go after, you would look at what your competition's doing, reverse engineer what they're doing, and copy what they're doing, and at least you start there first. So if they had the keyword up the front, you might move the keyword to the front of yours, and then that would just be a way to try and slowly work back. But most stuff, especially off-page optimization, you can just overcome any issues when it comes to search engines by just sending more links to the page that you want to rank for.
Okay. Awesome. Well, this is extremely helpful. All right, so there's your title that
Yep,
you've got to get right. You've got to get the meta description right and the meta keywords. All
yep,
those three things are absolutely key for when you're creating a new blog post, for example, to think about that. So you do your first of all
yep.
do your research, first few keywords, and then you optimize those three things for the search engines. Sounds
Yep.
awesome.
And then for the on page, like on the rest of the page, like, I mean, here's your actual post. For this post here, what you then want to do is take your keyword and make sure that you put the keyword in. Usually they say early and often. So you want to make sure that you have it in the first paragraph. And then a lot of people talk about density and all that sort of stuff. Don't worry about density. Push that to the side. As long as you mention it, two or three times. It can be a little bit more. You probably don't want to have it a little bit less. It does depend on the amount of words that you've got on the page, but I don't really worry about density so much anymore. I try and have it early. I'll try and have it in the first paragraph. I'll try and mention it a couple of times throughout the article or whatever the post is,
Hmm.
and then also down at the bottom of the particular post as well. I like to have the keyword. So let's just hope that this page has been optimized correctly. I'm going to go right click using this search status thing, and I'm going to go here. Where is it? I'm looking for not show keyword density, highlight keyword, and we'll just type in selling a website. And you can see here, so bang, it's in there. Now, it's not in the first paragraph, so that's a bit of a bummer, but that's okay. It's a little bit further down the page there. We'll keep scrolling down. We'll see if it's mentioned again. It's mentioned again, selling a website. It's mentioned again down in the last paragraph. And it's also mentioned down in the tags as well. It's a good idea to load your keywords into your tags as well. So, but I'll show you that in the back end in a moment. But that's the basic on-page optimization. Choose your
Awesome.
keyword, use what I was talking about, load it in your titles, and then and your meta descriptions in your meta keywords, and then you put it throughout the site, and then you should be fine.
Wow,
So
that is
I'll
cool.
just
That is
show you
very
the
cool. No, that's very useful. Thank you. Yeah, that's
all
awesome.
right, show you the back end now, so you can see how easy it is with WordPress. So I'll just log into here and I'll just move this screen over here.
Well,
I'll take
this. I mean, this. I guess if you look at this the first time, I've sort of read about SEO a little bit, so I can understand this a bit more. But if you're watching this and you're thinking, "Wow, this is quite overwhelming," I think if you just follow these initial simple steps that Dave is talking about, maybe watch the video a couple of times. To my mind, this will just really super boost I guess, ability to get found by the search engines and help you get that extra traffic from the search engines. So it's really good.
Yeah. So from the back end, it's quite simple. You'd obviously put your keyword in here. Then it's a good idea. Like, I mean, you can edit the permalink structure. Usually, what I'll do, if I'm in here editing it, and I won't do it now because we've obviously started sending links to these pages, but I would just have the keyword that you're trying to rank for as the link, like
Great.
that. So
Awesome.
that's a good idea. And then, you do a little bit of your keywords, loading them in here. Now I'm in thesis at the moment, so it will vary slightly, but the all-in-one SEO looks very similar. You'll just get the option to do a custom title tag, a custom description, and your meta keywords, which I talked about,
Cool.
and that just goes to show you don't have to hop into the back end coding side of
Awesome.
things. It's really quite easy. Just type it in there, and then
See,
over
I've
on the
I've just been
yes.
ignoring that stuff, so I've just been sort of, I've done some focusing on the title and the content of the blog post, but everything else I've just kind of been ignoring. So this is
Yeah,
really good. I'll be doing this from now on for sure.
it's the most when it comes to you can do these small tweaks here, and it will make the world of difference to getting you to come up for the right terms.
So you're just
Um,
breaking up there, Dev. So when it comes to what? Sorry.
yeah, when it comes to driving the traffic to your
Hmm.
websites through just organic traffic, making these slight changes that we're talking about now will make the world of difference.
Awesome.
Um, you also go ahead and I drop your keywords in your tags here as well. That's always a good idea. Sometimes I'll put a few more, and sometimes I'll put a few less, and the only other thing I wanted to show you, another thing that you want to keep in the back of your mind as well, is just when you set your permalink structure as well. This is a really
Mm,
important
mm.
thing, and hopefully I can find it. There you go. So it's under settings on the right hand side or left hand side when you're in your WordPress. And if you just go for something like this, you can set your custom structure. And if you just copy that, you'll be fine. Slash percentage, post name, slash percentage, and then finish with the slash again. Oh, sorry. Well, you just copy it there. And then if you set that, your permalink structure is going to be a lot better and better
Nice.
in more indexable by the search engines. If you have a look up here, a lot of times it's set to the default and you got question marks in there, and the search engines don't like that
Mm,
as
mm.
much. So
Awesome.
I'll go for
Great
that.
tip. Great tip. Very
Okay.
good. So this is a whole there's a whole bunch of stuff here, and specifically now this is all on page SEO stuff, right? So
Yep.
I'm just conscious of the time as well, and your time, and David.
Yep.
Is it was there anything else you wanted to talk about the on page stuff, or is it are we
Yeah.
can we talk a bit about the off page stuff as well?
I'll finish with two final things with the on-page stuff. Number one, I would make sure that you set up, look for some plugin. There's plenty of free plugins in there, and look for a plugin for generating a sitemap. Generating a sitemap's a good idea, and then you could submit that to the Google Webmaster Tools. Just helps with making sure your site gets indexed completely. And the second tip is don't stress so much with no follow. A lot of people are getting out there trying to do page rank sculpting and channel a lot of their page rank to specific pages, and they do that by no follow. The way that no follow has recently changed, and Matt Cutts has come out and said, look, it's not operating the way it used to. You're best if you just throw that to the side and send the links to the pages that you want to have ranked. So just make sure you know what pages you ultimately want to have ranked, and then send as many links to those pages as you can. And I also would suggest turning off no follow for comments. A lot of people no follow anyone's comments because it will attract spammers. I would say when you're first starting out, the chances of you being under the radar of those spammers isn't going to be very high anyway. And if the more that you can encourage people to comment on your blog, the better. So if you turn the comments off, you can ultimately approve and disapprove whatever you like. So it's better to just sit there and you can manually make sure that you approve the ones, and just don't approve the ones that are clearly not adding any value, but
Mm,
it's going to encourage people to want to comment on your site.
awesome. Okay, and turn the no follow thing off for that.
Yep.
Awesome. Very good. Okay, well, how are you doing for time, David? Is there
I'm
enough?
good.
Is it
Yeah,
enough time to
let's
talk about the off-page SEO tips?
for sure.
Oh,
I'll
cool.
move through a little bit quicker. This is
Well, I mean, this is extremely useful, and I've learned a ton already, and I'm sure our listeners and viewers will be learning a ton too. So it's really, really good. Let's keep going.